In this review, we're going to look at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack, or is it considered a 4-pack with Miss Lion? Big thanks to my friend Don for sending this set to me to review. We actually ended up doing a deal with. I bought the Firestar off of him, and he's keeping the other two. And he was mainly wanting the Spider-Man. Huge thanks to Don. Thank you again, my friend. The box for the set has a render of the characters on the front of the box in a running pose, reminiscent of the intro to the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon. Spider-Man logo on top and His Amazing Friends on the bottom. Web pattern in the background. You got your warnings, your choking hazards, +4, Marvel Legends logo. Plastic-free packaging. Yay! And poses require support in multiple languages. So we can't make them look like that without support. On the top, we got the Marvel Comics animation logo on the top. We got on the side of the box, we got like Spider-Man crawling up the side of the box, the Marvel Legends logo. On the other side, you got Spider-Man crawling down, Marvel Legends logo. On the bottom, we got more plastic-free packaging in multiple languages. Includes 3 figures and 13 accessories in multiple languages. There's your barcode if you need it. Your legalese. On the back, we have more renders of the characters showing what's included in the box. We have Firestar with alternate head, 2 alternate hands, flame effects, and Miss Lion. We got Spider-Man with 2 extra fist hands and wall crawling and whip hand. And we have Iceman with 2 fists and a ice sled. Oh, and we have our sad onion. Inside the box, the figures come in the cardboard tray, which I don't see how this is environmentally friendly. We're cutting down more trees, but I guess it's actually extra level of packaging, what we're usually seeing on these plastic-free packaging. I actually have a piece of cardboard taped over top of where the figures go. And you have the tray that screw down the figures. And of course, each figure comes in the wax paper bag. Here we have all the figures outside the box with all their accessories. We have Firestar with her alternate head, Miss Lion, 2 alternate hands, flame effects, Spider-Man with his 2 extra sets of hands, Iceman with his ice stand and fist. Some of the figures that we've seen before, and some of them's got a little upgrade. With Firestar, we got new limbs on her. We got the new Shriek style bicep swivel double joint arms, all pinless. Same with the legs, pinless legs. Much improvement over the original release. With Iceman, we've seen all these parts before. We've seen the head before with the retro carded release a while back on the X-Men wave. The body is basically just a piece of Spidey body. With Spider-Man, he's more like, I think this was the same body they used for the animated series, Walmart exclusive, but without all the shell shading on this one. So this is probably more preferred. If you're looking for that version of Spider-Man, this looks really good. I love the paint job on this one. I'll expand on that in a moment. First up, let's look at Firestar. Doesn't seem like it was too long ago when we got the last Firestar, but I'm actually glad we got a new one because this is far superior to the other release. The other one was using that really skinny leg body with the archaic articulation on a lot of female Marvel Legends figures from the past. I like the updates on this. Plus the paint decos on the faces are much better on this one. Before we do a comparison with the other figure, let's look at the other accessories. She's got these 2 flame effects, which we saw with the multiple Marvel Legends figures, including the previous Firestar. A little bit of color variance on there. Well, I'll show that in a moment. We have her alternate head, and we got 2 alternate fists instead of the open display hands they use on so many female figures. And we got Miss Lion in her cartoon colors. Let's bring in the other Firestar. As you can see, she's on a different body. This is on the skinnier buck body they used to use a lot and still use. They should retire this thing. Now that they got these bodies, it looks like they reused the same upper torso because they got the Sculpted Disc 4 Firestar. And the color shades are actually a little different too. The new one is more of a paler yellow, and this has got a little bit more orange to the yellow tone. I don't know if you can pick it out in the camera. I think you can notice that a little bit. It's got the flame effect still, the flame decos, Actually, I think I like... let's do apples. The apples, same arms. Same decos. Looks like they use the same paint deco file for that. Yeah, the same decos on both the arms. Now, are they the same on the legs? No, these are new decos for the legs. They're different on there. I like much cleaner. The flame effects are a lot cleaner on this newer one, from what I can tell. Of course, your mileage may vary on that, because we know how Hasbro's QC is. As I mentioned, their faces. The new one is on the right, old one on the left. Really like the paint deco on the new ones. So much better. You can see how less defined, detailed on the old one. And on the new head sculpt, you got much more. It's the digital print style of face painting, and it's not the... So that's a hit or miss. Sometimes they look like do low resolution versus high resolution on some of those. This one looks like it was a real nice print. You can see the spectral highlights in the eyes, the eyelashes, the different colorations between the lips. It's really nicely done. Same goes with the other heads. This is the previous one and the new one. The new one's got eyelashes, the old one does not. Much better detailed painted face. Like this one a lot better. And we got the Miss Lions. Her head is actually articulated. It can rotate. So we got two little Miss Lions, one white, one yellow or tan. Those look really good. The one thing I do like on the previous one better is the flame effects. So you can see the old ones, you got the orange to like a reddish orange. On these, you got a little bit of that, but very little. I like the effects on these. I'll probably use these effects on the new figure. One other thing you can do if you have the Spider-Man and Renew Your Vows 2-pack with a Spider-Man Spinneret, if you want a unmasked head, pop that head off, bring in the Mary Jane head from that set, and it fits and looks great. Matches the style of the figure really well. And basically in the cartoon series, they didn't have the rights for Mary Jane, so they actually made the Firestar as an analog for Mary Jane. So that works out really well. Since we have the head off, you can go ahead and just do a rundown on articulation. As you can see, the head is on a ball joint on a disc hinge, so you can get up and down. The hair on each of the heads are going to hinder the movement somewhat on each style head. You got... Can't really look up because of the hair on this one. It's going to be the same way on the other one, but you can look down. Full 360. You get some tilt. Disc hinge shoulders. Go up to this much. Full 360. Bicep rotation. Double joint elbows. You got to be careful with these pinless arms on these females because the joints are so thin. You could easily break these. Bend up all the way up to here. Hinge and swivel wrist, full 360, hinge horizontally. Diaphragm joint, you can lean back this much, lean forward this much. Not much forward, more back. But when you do lean back, you can see the top of the socket for the ball joint. I wonder if that's true with the old Firestar, since that torso. Yep. He does the same thing. I was curious because this torso was made for Firestar. Since it's on a different body, and it's still got the same issue. Full 360 of the diaphragm joint. Ball joint hips. Kick out this far. Kick forward this much. Back a little bit. Thigh rotation. Double joint knees. You can kick up their lower back. There's no boot cut, which is good because it would look ugly on this style figure. Hinged ankles, go down this much, forward this much, and forward facing pin for rocker or pivots, whichever you want to call it. Really nice and done figure. Not great update. Much improvement over the previous version, Looking forward to adding this into the shelf. I can have one for my Spider-Man Amazing Friends and one for my New Warriors. Next up, let's look at Iceman. Here we have Iceman with all the accessories. We have the figure stand, which is the ice sled, like ice shooting out. We've seen with the single carded, retro carded version of Iceman a while back. 2 fist hands. And that's all the accessories. And he comes with 2 wall crawling hands since it's his Pizza Spidey body. Do-do-do, do-do-do. I really hate they use this Pizza Spidey body for this. I would have preferred them actually using the body they used with the retro carded one, which was the Sunfire body. This is what they should have used. Better proportion, especially with this head. This head looks huge on this body. Better proportion for this size body. I like this color scheme, the paint deco, which the shell shading they did with this one for the ice, which would have looked fantastic on this. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Or even the Age of Apocalypse Iceman body. They could have just not used the sharp shard pieces. They could have swapped out some of the parts with it. Because the chest is actually sculpted to look like it's chiseled out of ice. I don't know. They had such great bodies to choose from, and they chose the Pizza Spidey. But that's beside the point. Let's go ahead and look at the figure. The hands are painted with the shell shading coming down on the hands. We got the pale blue with a little bit darker blue for the shading on both the hands, or all 4 of the hands actually. Different areas, different spots. It looks good. It goes throughout the body and actually falls to the pattern of the figure where it should be. It looks nice. The head is, like I said, it's the previous head from the single retro card release for Iceman. This one does have a little speck of paint or something on the chest. I don't want to come off. I like this head with this paint scheme. I would have loved seeing the other body painted up like this. But in all, it still pulls off Bobby from Spider-Man Amazing Friends cartoon. With the stand, let's see how he works on the stand. Heel, foot. Be nice if we could get some ice effects or something with them, or a brand new ice sled would have been cool. That's asking a little much for them, I guess. That pulls off pretty well. I like it. Since this is on the Pizza Spidey, we know what we're getting with articulation. We are a ditch hinge on a ball joint. You can look up really well. Look down, way down. Where the head's a little big for the body, the head will actually pivot down and look way down, bury his chin into his chest. You get some tilt from side to side. Butterfly joints. They are very stiff. I bet they put these are the modified butterfly joints with the rail system inside with the long pegs. So if you want full movement, you got to trim that peg off. I can feel it ratcheting inside that rail system. So you get back this much, forward this much because of the limitations of that rail system. Disc in the shoulders. Come up to here, full 360, bicep rotation, double jointed elbow, bends all the way up, hinge and swivel wrist, horizontal on both the hands and the fist, ab crunch, can kick back this much, and a huge pizza oven flat spot on the top of that. That is so bad. Crunch forward, that's all I can crunch forward. Waist rotation, full 360. Ball jointed hips, kick out that much only. Forward this much, kicks up way high. Back a little bit, thigh rotation. Double joint knees. Hinged ankles can go down this much. Up this much. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle pivots. So we pretty well knew what we was expecting with on the Pizza Spidey body, with the exception of the new style shoulder joints, the butterfly joints, which I don't like those. I wish they'd go back. I don't know what's the point of changing those. A little hot and water snip. We can take care of that ourselves, but it's sad we got to fix a lot of this stuff anymore. Now for the main attraction. Let's look at Spider-Man. And here we have Spider-Man, and this is a fantastic figure. I could totally see them reusing this body to do a new updated version of the Ultimate Spider-Man or a Miles Morales Spider-Man, because this is a fantastic buck, and it's smaller than the standard Spider-Man size. It's a good looking figure. The details, the sculpt on the head is really nice. A little bit of color variation from like the harder plastic on the chest versus the softer plastic on the arms and heads. But it's clean paint though. Much better than the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, which had paint issues on both versions I got. But this one is very clean. Looks good. And it comes with alternate hands. You got 2 fist hands and 2 wall crawling hands and 2 thwip hands. Comes installed with 1 wall crawling, 1 thwip hand. It's a new articulation scheme that we've been seeing on the Spider-Man figures, and it's all pinless. And I like the head articulation on this so much better than on the Renew Your Vows and the retro carded Spider-Man. It has a disc hinge. I prefer a disc hinge. He can look up fantastic all the way up. You can't do that with a double ball peg. That is so much better. You look down, full 360. You get some tilt on that head. Disc hinge shoulders go up this much. It's the big shoulder here collides with the traps, so you can't get up past that, or you can mar that up. Butterfly joint kicks back this much, which is probably on that peg system like we was talking about before with Iceman. Goes forward this much. Full 360 at the shoulder. Bicep rotation, full 360. Well, that's one bad thing about this is a reuse of the first appearance Amazing Fancies Spider-Man. It's still got the holes for the webs. And there's no webs in this pack, which... Come on, Hasbro. Makes another set of arms if you're going to do this. Double joint elbow. Kicks up all the way up. Good range of motion. Not stiff or stuck like a lot of times. Got the hinge and swivel wrist. Horizontally hinged on all the hands. You got the diaphragm joint. Goes back this much. Just a little bit for the diaphragm. A little bit forward of the diaphragm. You get your rotation of the diaphragm, and it tilts from side to side. Your crunch comes from the reverse ab crunch, and it goes back this much and this far forward. Great range of movement there. Ball joint hips, kick you out this far, kicks forward, way up, looks good. Back just a smidge. Thigh rotation. Double joint knees, gets you all the way up, kicks us back. There is a boot cut, which is well hidden with this look here. You got the blue meets the red. Nice hidden. It does break the sculpt a little bit when you turn that. Hinged ankles, down this much, forward this much. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle pivots. Looks really good, very articulated. Great looking sculpt. Now, as I mentioned, he is quite a bit smaller than the other Spider-Mans. We got a few other Spider-Mans to do some comparisons with. We have a retro carded Spider-Man. We have a Pizza Spidey. We have a Renew Your Vows 2-pack Spider-Man, which he is a beefy figure. Almost too big for Spider-Man. Peter B. Parker. As I mentioned, he could be a good update for Ultimate Spider-Man. Here we have the original Ultimate Spider-Man. Well, technically it's the 2-pack one. It came with the Vulture. And we got Spider-Ham. Since we're doing comparisons, let's look at Firestar next to Firestar. Spinnerette. Kick Bashed Mary Jane. And another Kick Bashed Mary Jane. While we're at it, let's do Iceman with the Retro Card Iceman and the Age Apocalypse Iceman. All in all, this is a great 3-pack. There's a few things I would like to seen done differently. With definitely, they should have made some new arms for, or at least biceps for Spider-Man to fill up, or gave him the webs. I know he didn't have the webs in the cartoon, but have something to plug those holes up on his inside of his biceps. With Iceman, I would have preferred a different body. Heck, they could have just used the Spider-Man body. That would have been fantastic for Iceman. The way the cartoon was done, these guys look the same size. Right now, with the pizza body, Iceman's towering over them. Either they could have used the same body as Spider-Man for Iceman, which, to me, that would have been the ideal situation. Firestar, home run. Great that they used the Shriek body parts and gave her an updated articulation, better paint up face decos. Spider-Man is still, it is a fantastic looking figure, even though he's got those holes in his biceps. The paint is super clean, nice, no blurry lines or anything like with the Renew Your Vows 2-pack. I've had issues with both of mine. I got the bad paint on the butterfly joint, which I need to repaint that. That is horrendous. I don't know why they didn't make the spider logo just smaller, like on the retro card at one. Where it fits inside the back and doesn't bleed over into the butterfly joints. I don't know. But don't have any issues with this one. I would like to see that paint job on this figure. And we got the proper Miss Lion. She looks good in the right colors. And all in all, if you were a fan of this era of cartoons, like remember watching this cartoon back in the day on Saturday mornings, I say if you're thinking about getting this set, go ahead and get it. It's a great Spider-Man, great Firestar, update the proper color Miss Lion. Iceman's okay, but yeah, I recommend getting it. It's nice. Thanks again to my buddy Don for letting me take a look at his 2 figures. These are his. This is going to be mine. Thanks again, my friend. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch the review. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.